Hi, I'm Haley and today I'm making the best blondies ever. I'm super excited to make these, but before we get started, I'd like to thank my Can-O recipes, which was made for me by my amazing friend Victoria. This thing saves me so much time because you have no idea how much time I spend sitting in front of the computer, scrolling through recipes, trying to decide what to make. But today, I just picked one out of here and it said Blondies, so I'm making Blondies today. So let's just get started. Okay, first I'm gonna mix together my butter and my sugar. So I have 1 cup of salted melted butter. Keep going in the mixing bowl. All of these measurements are in US cups, but you can find metric down in the description box below. And then I'm also gonna add 1 1/4 cups of very packed light brown sugar. And 1/2 cup of white sugar. Now I have put the bowl, I've put the bowl on my stand mixer now, and I'm going to mix that all together. Okay, now that all of my butter and my sugar is well combined, I'm going to add 2 eggs and an egg yolk. That's the yellow part of the egg, in case you didn't know. And I've pre-cracked my eggs into a separate bowl to avoid any disaster because it's very easy to get shell into things. I mean, it happens to the best of us every once in a while, so it's just good to be safe. And before I mix in my eggs, I'm also going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Vanilla smells so good. And I'm going to mix all of that together. And once all of those ingredients are mixed together, I'm going to mix together my dry ingredients in a separate bowl. I have a medium-sized bowl, and I'm going to pour in 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. And make sure that when you measure this, you spoon it into the measuring cup and you level it off. That way you don't pack in too much excess flour. I didn't really spoon mine in the measuring cup. It's what you're supposed to do, but you can just fluff up your flour a little bit if you want. But you don't have to tell anybody. Okay. And then I'm also gonna add 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I want the cornstarch to come out of this container. Why is it like this? And I'm gonna whisk all that together. Okay, and now I'm going to gradually add my dry ingredients into my wet ingredients. Just a little bit. Turning on the mixer. There we go. This part takes the longest. I feel so short. I always stand on my toes when I'm trying to pour things in the mixer. Okay, I just added in the last of my flour, and now I'm gonna use my spatula to scrape down the bottom and the sides and make sure that all of the flour is combined. And when you're finished mixing in all of your flour, it's time for the most important part. I have 1 cup of walnuts and 1 cup of white chocolate chips. And I'm gonna mix that in, but if you're using a hand mixer, you probably wanna stop using the hand mixer right now and just fold this in. Okay, I finished mixing in my walnuts and my white chocolate chips, and now it's time to bake it. Kind of sounds gross, but it smells really good. Now it's time to bake this. I'm gonna bake it in a 9 by 13 baking dish, and I've lined it with parchment paper. Not like all around, but just on the 2 long sides. Because if you line it to where you have to fold the parchment paper to fit both sides, then the Blondie batter gets stuck in the edges and it gets all crinkly and ugly, and we don't want that. So I've just got a long piece laying across the long sides, but it's not covering the short sides, and that's okay. And now I'm gonna pour all of my batter in there and smooth it out. Okay, now I'm going to bake this. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm gonna bake this for about 20 minutes to start and then check on it. And when you can stick a toothpick in the center and it comes out kind of fudgy with a few moist crumbs, then that means it's done. Okay, I'm all done baking my Blondies, and they have been cooling for quite a while now. I baked these for 24.5 minutes, and I think it was just the right amount of time for me, but it just depends on your oven. Now, I don't normally do this, but I'm gonna take out the whole thing. Oh, the parchment paper was worth it. It came out perfectly. It was so easy. Now I'm gonna try one. These are so fudgy and chewy. They're just perfect. I'm not a big fan of white chocolate chips. I don't really like them that much, but I think in the Blondie, they are so good, and they just wouldn't be the same without them. These Blondies are like actually really good. Well, I think when I made these, it was the first time I tried Blondies. So I don't have a lot of Blondie experience, but in my opinion, these really are the best. Well, thank you so much for baking with me today. Let me know if you ever make white chocolate walnut Blondies at home. And please share my channel, that way everybody else can have this delicious recipe. And I'll see you next time on You're Stirring It Wrong. So I've just got it laying across it long ways. No, short ways. Sideways? What is this? Short ways, not long ways. So I've just got a very long piece laying across the short ways. I can't really talk right now.